Golf is a game that seems to attract a large number of high-achieving individuals. These are people who've built successful careers, successful businesses by being very goal-oriented. The challenge is when they bring that same mindset to the game of golf. As I'm driving through Dubai on my way to Emirates Golf Club to play my first ever round night golf at Faldo Course, I'm excited and a little bit nervous. And here's where I made the first blunder of my evening. I set myself a scoring goal of shooting 4 over or better over 9 holes. As I arrive at the golf club, I very quickly realize that I'm outside of my comfort zone. As a relatively new golf content creator, I'm still getting used to all the equipment I have to handle. I've got my golf bag, I have a camera bag, I have a bag with a change of clothes for later, as well as a tripod. And handling all of these things in a brand new environment puts me into a little bit of a stressy state. That said, the good news is I still have about an hour to my tee time, so plenty of time to let myself settle down. I end up having a decent warm-up and I'm ready to go. The first hole is a 411-yard par 4. As I set up my camera to record my first tee shot, I realize just how nervous I'm feeling about recording content while playing with others for the first time. I'm so worried about not getting in their way or delaying them or being rude that I forget to actually think about the golf shot I'm trying to hit. As I set up to hit my first tee shot, my brain is already scrambled. I've already forgotten the shape of the hole, even though I looked at the GPS just a couple of minutes ago. I decide to aim straight down the middle, and I actually managed to put a decent golf swing on it. I find my golf ball resting on this tight sand, which I assume is around 35 to 40 yards short of the green. I hit a little punch up that heads up right next to the green. It's then that I realize that I've actually hit onto the wrong green. This hole was a dogleg left, and in my scrambled state where I'm just worried about putting the camera in place and not holding people up, I've managed to hit to the wrong green. As the 4-ball actually playing that hole wonders what the heck I'm doing next to their green, I sheepishly admit what I've just done. I don't even put the camera down, I just grab a 7-iron, hit off this side hill lie and hope for the best. Miraculously, I put a decent swing on it and it ends up about 35-40 feet away from the pin. I put a decent first putt on this. This was my first putt of the night, but I don't make the second one and it is a double bogey to begin with. The second hole is a longish par 3 playing around 203 yards. I take a 5-iron and aim just right of the flag to avoid the bunker on the left. This is definitely not the ball flight that I'm trying for, but I'm not complaining because it flies pretty much straight towards the flag. It does run on a bit and just goes over the green. I mishit the pitch, but I get lucky and the ball rolls out to about 4 feet for par. Unfortunately, I miss, and it's another drop shot. The third hole is a 515-yard par 5. It's a pretty wide open fairway, and I aim left center and put a good swing on it. I have 235 yards to the green, which is guarded by a front left bunker. I hit a low Healy 5-wood that actually ends up just short of the bunker. Despite reminding myself of all of the good, positive pitches that I hit in my warm-up, I managed to chunk this one into the bunker. From there, I hit a decent shot out, but it's a 2-putt for bogey and another drop shot. The fourth is a 345-yard par 4. It is tempting to take the tiger line across the water and try and get very close to the green, but miraculously I take the smarter play and just hit a little stinger of 5-irons down the left-hand side of the fairway. I have a wedge in from around 120 yards. I hit it well, but it's about 20 feet away and I 2-putt for my first par of the day. The fifth hole is a par 5, 515 yards with water all the way down the right-hand side. I step up to the tee feeling good, having stopped the bleeding on the last hole, and I make a confident golf swing. Unfortunately, the golf gods decide that this is the time to bring out the old pole, leaving me with no option to just pitch out. My third golf shot is a low 7-iron that sets me up with a wedge into the green. trying to avoid the water on the right. Unfortunately, I'm not yet done with hitting disgusting, awful golf shots on this hole. I chunk my wedge into the water and have to reload. The sixth shot is what I was trying to do the first time round. It ends up about 20 feet away, and I two-putt for an 8. The sixth hole is a 427-yard par 4 with a pretty sharp dogleg left. Showing that I haven't learnt my lesson from the first hole, I forget that it's a dogleg left and aim straight down the middle. I somehow manage to hit a massive pull that ends up in the middle of 2 huge bunkers on a little island. I'm around 145 away and hit a 9-iron to about 30 feet. Unfortunately, it's another 3-putt bogey. The seventh is a 403-yard par 4. There's lots of water down the right-hand side. This forces me to be mindful of where I'm aiming, and I managed to put a good swing on this one. I'm only left with about 115 to the flag, but as I step up to my golf ball, I notice the lie is somehow bare and sticky at the same time. I let myself get psyched out, and even though on camera it seems like I put a decent golf swing on this, I've hit what feels like 2 inches behind the golf ball, and I fear that I've dunked another one in the water. I in fact get very lucky as the ball stops right on the edge. I hit a little punch onto the green, but it runs on a little bit too far. It's another 2-putt bogey. On to the shortish par 3/8. It's playing around 153 yards today. I take a 9-iron and take dead aim. I hit the ball a bit flatter than I was intending to, and the ball runs on a bit, but it's only about 30 feet past, and I managed to get a 2-putt par. Final tee shot of the night at the 355-yard par 4 9. What I really like about this golf course is even though the distances aren't huge, you're made to think about where you need to place the golf ball on pretty much every tee shot. This is no different, and I take a 5-iron to hit to the fat part of the fairway, put a decent swing on this, and leaves me about 145 to the flag. I have a 9-iron in, and it's a decent strike, but I do tug it left a little bit, leaves me about 30 feet. I manage to get the 2-putt to finish with 2 pars in a row. As I wait for my playing partners to finish, I take what feels like my first deep breath of the evening. I actually start to notice my surroundings and where we are. I realize just how narrow my focus has been through the evening, on just trying to capture content and stay out of people's way. I haven't really taken in the experience or focused on my golf game. These are definitely areas for me to work on if I'm going to continue creating golf content. While I may have failed in my original objective of shooting 4 over or better over 9 holes, what I have gained is a valuable reminder that I cannot control outcomes in this game. What I can control, however, is to make sure I'm actually following my pre-shot routine and thinking about the shots I'm trying to hit. Upon reflection, it feels like my golf game was almost an afterthought this evening, and I was so obsessed with capturing content and being a decent playing partner that I forgot to focus on why I was there in the first place, which is to play good golf. With that, we're coming to the end of the evening. I just want to take a moment to say thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me, and I hope you'll tune in for my next round.